Hey guys, Biker Brendan here. Today I thought I would do a review of my CRF250L, this beautiful bike right here. I've had this bike for 2 years now, 2 whole years. I've done a fair few mods which I'll talk about later in the video. So yeah, might as well get to it. It's a nice muddy day today, so it'll be a bit of fun going for a ride on the old girl. Old girl, she's 2 years old now. So she's old. I've done quite a few mods to the bike over the last couple of years. And to be honest, this bike, look, it's really lame without, I probably shouldn't go down there, it's probably way too wet. It's really lame when you get it straight out of the box. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that it's a fairly slow sort of a, it's a very dual sport, slow sort of bike. But anyways, the main mods is obviously the stage 1 kit, with the exhaust, the fuel programmer, and I did the 13 tooth sprocket as well. And look, that helped absolutely amazingly. Like, it has livened up the bike immensely. Yeah. Look, the 13 tooth sprocket would be the best bang for your buck. Like, it certainly helps liven it up. But the exhaust and the fuel program is exactly what this bike needs. If you're thinking of buying this bike and having it as a reasonable off-road bike, I would say you definitely need that, yeah, the exhaust and the fuel programmer. But I mean, yeah. Now let's put one thing straight. This is not an enduro bike, and it is nowhere near a race bike. It is a dual sport bike. It is designed to be able to go off-road and then ride home again. Like, it's not overly quick. You're not going to beat any riders on a proper motocross bike, which, I mean, you expect. You don't expect that when you buy this bike you're going to be winning races or anything. So yeah, look, it's a pure trail bike. However, that being said, if you do the mods that I've done here, like with the exhaust and the fuel programmer and that, it certainly livens it up and makes it a lot more fun. Like, look at that big note, that exhaust note. Oh, little jump. Woo! Nah, she's good fun. Like, you know, she's not that slow. She's just not an enduro racer. So what other mods have I done? Well, I've put some bark busters on, which is, you know, a little light mod really. And I put a fender eliminator on, which tidies up the back end. I still haven't replaced the dorky stock turn signals yet, but it doesn't really worry me. I thought about putting LED ones on. The issue is they flash faster, and I don't really like that look. So I've kind of just left the stock ones on there for now. But they're not too bad. They do the job. What else can I say about it? So 2 years with this old girl. 2 years. So in the 2 years that I've had this bike, I've had no problems. Like, I've changed my oil every 3,000 kilometers, and that's, I don't know, that's obviously good for the motor. And I've done about 7,000 Ks in the 2 years, so not a heap. I rode it a lot more the first year than I have the last year, mostly because I bought a bigger bike. I bought a CBR 600. But anyways, it's not what I'm here to talk about today. The little 250, after 2 years, and look, I guess most of the people wanting to watch this will be like looking at buying this bike. So, I mean, if you're wanting a trail bike that is like quite capable, if you've got the exhaust and fuel programmer and sprocket and stuff, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it if you don't have those things, but it's just sort of fairly tame. A lot of my mates have enduro bikes, and the thing is, this has a lot higher top speed than the enduro bikes because it's geared a fair bit higher, which is one of the reasons I like the 13.2 sprocket. The main disadvantage of this bike is the weight. It is quite heavy, and it's noticeably heavier than even like I had a CRF250, and it's noticeably heavier than that. It's surprising. With a dirt bike, it's amazing how much the weight actually makes a difference. However, it's not much different to say the WR250R and the KLX. I think they both might be slightly lighter than this bike, but I think they're both a little bit more expensive too, especially the WR. It's more expensive, and I'm not sure about the KLR 250, but I think is it KLR or KLX? I think it's still carby, still carbureted, which means, you know, I mean, fuel injection is just so much better than a carby. I don't care what anyone says. Like, you wake up in the morning, flick the button, and she goes. You can't beat that. I mean, like, realistically, like, you can pop the front wheel now. Like, you couldn't do that without the mods. Like, it just didn't have, maybe it was the gearing, but just didn't seem to have, just didn't seem to have the power. But it's certainly a lot better now. Fuel economy, look, it's definitely gone down since I've done the mods. The exhaust, the fuel programmer, you can tell that the fuel programmer is putting in a lot more fuel. It's yeah, the fuel economy is like I was getting 200 k's to a tank, and now I don't even get 150, so a quarter worse. But I mean, you've got so much more power and so much more fun to be had. As you can see, I'm quite happy with the mods that I've done to this bike. It's just yeah, quite lame beforehand. So what's it like on the street? Well, I don't know. I think it depends. If you're riding around town, then it's quite fun because you don't have to get up to high speeds. But if you're wanting to ride around at highway speeds, it's really not very fun. I always feel bad. I always feel like I'm putting a fair few, like I'm revving the motor too high, sort of. I know I'm not, because it red lines at 10.5, and at 100 kilometers an hour I sit at about 7,000 RPM. But I don't like revving it too high. Like about 8,000 is usually the maximum I go to with it, just because I want it to last. I'll get off and show you guys all the stuff that I've done to it. So you can see the bark busters on the front there. They're just cheapies off eBay. You can see the FMF exhaust. I did the power bomb header only because you can put the heat shield on it. I love the look of the exhaust and that tail end. I've got a DRC Edge Tailight kit. And that's really easy to do. I've got a video of that, and it tidies it up really nicely. It looks nice and sleek. Looks like a dirt bike. I really haven't done that much, but I think it looks a lot better than when it was stock. That big ugly looking tailpiece they put on them from stock, I was really looking forward to getting that off. Look, to be honest, I'm really happy with this bike. It does everything I need it to do. It's fun to trail ride on. It's fun to ride around on these sort of dirt tracks. And And look, it goes fast enough for what I want it for. The main reason I would buy this over an enduro, say like a CRF250X or a CRF450X, is the maintenance. This bike, all you have to do is change oil. In the book it says 12,000 kilometers or 6,000 miles or something, or maybe even higher miles. But yeah, like it's so easy to maintain. Whereas a 450 or a 250X, you have to rebuild the motor every so often, and I don't want to put all that expense into it. For me, I just wanted a trail bike, something to have a bit of fun on, something that's cheap and easy to maintain. And look, if you're looking at buying one of these bikes, and you just want something to have a bit of fun on, then like the stock 250L, like it's a brilliant bike. However, if you want to do anything serious off-road, then I would highly recommend getting the Stage 1 kit. It certainly makes a huge difference to the bike. Yeah, so overall I think this bike is good for beginners, because when this bike's stock, it's just very easy to use. It would be an excellent beginner bike. Not only can you ride it, you know, down dirt lanes and off-road and, you know, wherever you want, but you can actually ride it on the road as well, so you can get to the trails, and, you know, not have to worry about cops because you've got a fully registered bike. When it's stock, it's not very loud at all. It is very quiet, and for some people that might be important. So anyways, look, I hope you've enjoyed the review, guys. I know it's been a bit all over the place, but yeah, look, they're my thoughts. I think it's an excellent bike. I would recommend it to anyone that's sort of starting out that wants a dual sport bike, or look, anyone, like an older bloke that just wants to putt around town. Look, it's not a quick bike, that's the main point. It's not a super fast bike, but I think that would suit a lot of people, so I think it's an excellent bike for that. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the review, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you guys.